And welcome back to the Metaphysical Apothecary. We are your hosts, Megan and Shannon. We are also known as the Scorpio sisters, and we are here to explore the mysterious, magical, and the arcane.
Some ways to better understand the rules that work for you, the rules that don't work for you, the emanations you want to work with, the emanations you don't want to work with, what your path looks like, how you want to build it out, how you want to craft it, is really by getting to know your own values, principles, morals, and ethics in any way, shape, or form that you can. I know that I have two super core values that have other values underneath it, in which I use to measure and express my two core values of empowerment and responsibility. And when things don't jive with my empowerment or my responsibility, I don't do it. I don't like it. I have to start standing up and building my craft, my path around getting rid of the things that are trying to infringe on those values. And ethically speaking, I loosely follow the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Do unto yourself as you would have done unto others. So if something comes up that is a quote-unquote rule and it doesn't align with either my values or of my ethics that I'm following, it's not a rule. It's a suggestion, and I'm not taking it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a good framework to work within to determine how you're going to practice your craft too. Like having a magical code of ethics is a really good idea for getting to know yourself, and also for, again, weeding out the rules and the traditions that others may try to impose on you that don't feel quite right. There's actually an article on the blog where I go through kind of the framework of how I created my magical ethical code and shows others how to do it as well. So for me, my values are mainly based in everyone's highest well-being. And that includes my own. It includes my own first, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. In my magical life, in my mundane life, when I look at something that somebody is asking me to do, the first question I ask myself is, will they be harmed? Will someone be harmed if I don't do this? Will someone be harmed if I do this? Will I be harmed in either case as well? And I kind of weigh those three things out. If I will be harmed by helping someone to do something, but they have resources to do that thing, like if somebody asked me to help them move, and I don't feel like I have the resources that's going to do me some harm to do that, and that person has other resources that they could use, then I'm probably going to say no. It also depends on the relationship I have with that person, but I'm probably going to say no, and I'm going to say it without guilt, because no one's going to be harmed by me saying no. Sometimes saying no does mean that another person has to struggle, but you still have to keep to your own boundaries. So for me, my magical code of ethics mainly has to do with exercising my free will without imposing on others, while also stewarding the well-being of myself and my loved ones. So while I won't normally interfere with someone else's free will, if their free will involves them trying to cause harm to myself or my loved ones, and that includes things like bullying, gaslighting, those sorts of things. I'm not just talking about physical attack or even spiritual attack, but mainly the crossing of boundaries and emotional manipulation. I feel free to step in front and say, no, that's not okay. Because at that point, they're imposing their will upon me, and that's also not acceptable to me.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to, for instance, the threefold law, I don't follow the threefold law because in my magical code of ethics, it's perfectly acceptable for me to place the hex on someone if they are behaving poorly, if they are causing harm to someone I love, if they are traumatizing the people around them because they're acting in poor faith. It's perfectly acceptable for me to do that. And I don't believe that that hex is going to come back to me tripled because I'm reinforcing a boundary. I'm stewarding my well-being by using that hex.
Mm-hmm. I also do not follow the threefold law. Like I said, I loosely follow the golden rule of do unto others and do unto yourself.
Mm-hmm.
To me, karma is going to come and get you before I do. But if I happen to be the one throwing the hacks at you, that's karma's working through me.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to get stressed out, for me to get stressed out, when I know that, oh, you know what? May your pencil point always break.
Mm-hmm.
Until you fix this trait, may it always break and annoy you. Is not harmful and annoying, but also allowing you to work through your karma because she's coming for you.
Exactly. In terms of creating your own code of magical ethics, if you haven't already, it's important to first examine your personal values. What do you value? Do you value well-being? Do you value
Empowerment, responsibility, consideration, nature,
right?
creativity.
So you can make it a ranked list of the things that you value, some of the things that Shannon and I just named, or other things that we haven't named, and then start crafting a code of ethics around making sure that you're stewarding the things that you value. And I actually took from the kink community the phrase safe, sane, and consensual. I think that that is applicable to all areas of life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when you're crafting your code of ethics, you can think to yourself, does this follow the safe, sane, and consensual guideline? And also the actions that I'm saying that I'm willing to take through my magical practice, would I be ashamed to admit that I've done any of these things? And if
Mm-hmm.
the answer is yes, maybe examine that a little bit closer and see why. Perhaps it's because it's an objectively bad thing to do, or maybe it's something that it would be okay to do, but you have some shadow work to do around that thing. All of these things are things that you can keep in mind, whether you're a newbie or whether you're interacting with other witches. So if you're a newbie who's just come to the craft, keep these things in mind for as you go along your journey and start crafting your practice. But if you're a more experienced witch, all of these things are fantastic to keep in mind so that when you do meet newer witches, you can help them instead of overpowering them. I don't say that with any malice. I have done that to newer witches, and that's how I learned not to. But it's also good to re-examine our own practices sometimes and to make sure that the things that we're doing still work for us.
I haven't overpowered a new witch, but I have overwhelmed them.
Yeah.
Especially with like research, like, oh, I'm interested in this. Ba-bam.
Well, bam, here you go. It's like,
Here's all the information ever. This particular podcast is good because it should remind me as well as to ask them what are their known values or ethics, so that way I can try to work around that both of ours at the same time.
mm-hmm.
Because that overwhelming is my empowerment of them. My value set of empowerment through intelligence, mental flexibility, and connection, responsibility. Boom!
Mm-hmm.
Have it all at once.
And they're like, I can't digest all of this.
Yes.
It's like emptying your entire fridge onto the table, and they're like, I just wanted a sandwich.
Yeah. That's all we have on the topic for today. Thank you so much for listening in, and we hope you'll join us again next time. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, and go to our blog for some more witchy wisdom, as well as check out some of our original art on Society 6 for sacred decor and more. Thank you again for joining us, and go make some magic and live your best life. Bye!
Bye, everyone.